So, Francis, we're now talking about the living room. We're going to look at one or two basic principles. You've obviously got a lot of experience in this. You've talked to lots of customers, all sorts of different tastes, maybe different types of houses that they put their furniture in. I just have one basic question: is the coffee table? I mean, you could write a book about the coffee table, couldn't you? It's an archetypal piece of furniture in homes. And I was just wondering, looking around here, in your experience, would you say that like a very modern glass coffee table would be preferable to the wood table? What's been the sort of input that you've had on it over the years?
Well, of course, it very much depends on the customer's taste and exactly what it is that they're looking for. I mean, I suppose in my experience, your very modern glass top coffee table and that were fairly popular over the last few years. I suppose, maybe that's more towards the more modern kind of apartment or the modern home. But I suppose in a rural area, which is exactly where we are here, the coffee table, as well as every other piece of furniture, tends to be that little bit more traditional, I suppose. So the solid oak coffee table is always very, very popular with every generation. So, yes, there's lots of people like the glass coffee table, but I would say in my experience that a solid wooden coffee table is, probably that much more popular.
Yeah. So the glass would be mainly for apartments?
I wouldn't say mainly for apartments, but I suppose that's where I would see, from our experience here at Treacy's, that we would put most of those glass top coffee tables would be into the apartment type of situation.
And with the wooden ones, obviously there's a lot of variations within that particular area. Like something can look traditional, but it can be contemporary, but also in wood.
Of course, and certainly, just because something is wood and some way traditional doesn't mean that it's not also contemporary. Lots of furniture, like this beautiful piece here from Rossmore, it's a very traditional solid red oak coffee table, and yet will look, every bit at home in a modern home as it does in anything traditional, So I suppose it's a combination of all of the pieces that are in the room that give a room its character and what it looks like and reflects the owner's taste and the customer's taste.
Indeed. And so when it comes to, let's say, settees in the living room, obviously a living room, as you mentioned before, you have to have somewhere to sit.
Right, of course. You're living in the room, and certainly having a place to sit is obviously very important. So you've got lots of choices as far as your seating is concerned. Whether you want to have leather, whether you prefer fabric, whether you want to have recliners on your suite, or whether you want all static, and there are numerous factors that govern what your choices might be. Obviously, your own personal taste, whether you actually like leather, or whether you prefer to have fabric, whether you want something that's patterned, which you would have available to you on fabric, but obviously not on leather. The practicalities of leather always come to the fore. For example, if you've got young kids, then inevitably you're going to have things like your yogurt is going to get spilt on the couch and so forth. With fabric, you're going to have a little bit of difficulty in getting that cleaned up, but with leather it's so practical you can just wipe it off. And you don't need to spend huge amounts of money on leather suites. They come in a wide range of prices and quality, obviously. And so basically then if you come down to colour, and I suppose the most popular colours of leather, black, brown, burgundy and ivory, and then some of the other more specialised ones, which may be a little more expensive, I suppose, would be greens, tans, blues, reds, which are often
leather is easier to maintain, it's easier to clean.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, if you get a spill of anything on the leather, and I mentioned the kids' yogurt, you just you can just wipe it up. Whereas if you've got fabric, then it starts going into the fibre of the fabrics, and you've got yourself a right old mess, and wet and all that sort of thing, so not so easy.
And again, in your experience, Francis, over the years, have you noticed a trend that more people go for leather or fabric?
No, not at all. I would have to say it almost goes, I would say, on a week-to-week basis. I mean, sometimes this week leather is more popular, and next week fabric is more popular. Yeah. So really, there often is I often get customers commenting, oh gosh, leather was very popular a couple of years ago, but it's gone out now, isn't it? And my response is always, no, I still sell as much leather as ever, And the same comment then I would get from another customer a week later. oh, it's all fabric is gone out now. It's all leather, isn't it? And again, I would say,
So you're seeing
no,
both
it's
sides.
all it's comes and goes, swings and roundabouts all the time.